Question number 31. What is the magnitude of the vector whose initial point is at 1, minus 3 and terminal point is at 4, 1? So we have to find the size of the vector or the length of the vector. So by definition, if we have 2 points, we can draw a vector from one point P, which is represented by x1, y1, and another point, terminal point or final point Q, x2, y2 on the same plane. Then we can form a vector V represented by PQ by the formula V is equals to x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 hilal. And moreover, the length of the vector V is, which is also called the magnitude, size, or the norm of the vector is given by this formula. So our vector has initial point, let's say I, which is given by the first coordinate 1 and the second coordinate minus 3. And let's consider our terminal point by capital T, and it is given by first coordinate 4 and second coordinate 1. Here x1 is 1 and y1 is negative 3. Also here for the terminal point, x2 is just 4 and y2 is 1. So we can draw our vector from I to T, which is given by the formula x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1. And this will be, in this case, x2 is 4 and x1 is 1, y2 is 1 and y1 is negative 3. So we have to use the bracket here appropriately because 3 is negative here. So the coordinate for our vector will be 4 minus 1 is 3, the first coordinate. Here 1 minus 1 no below, so it will be 1 plus 3. Therefore, finally, you will get 3, 4. And the length of this vector, the norm of this vector, is given by the square root of x2 minus x1, the whole square, plus y2 minus y1, the whole square inside the square root. Already we have calculated x2 minus x1, which is 3, and also y2 minus y1, which is 4. So you will square, 3 square is 9, and 4 square is 16. And finally, you will get square root of 25. So the square root of 25 is just 5. So this is your answer. So our answer is choice B. Question number 32. Let T be a translation that takes the origin. The origin is represented by 0, 0 into the point 2, 3. Then which of the following is true about this translation? Right? So first you have to remember the definition of what a translation is. Unit 8 ላይ translation, reflection and rotation የሚባሉ rigid motion which ተምራችኋል. By definition, if U is h, k is a translation vector, then the image of the point P, x, y under the translation will be the point P prime, which is x plus h, y plus k ይላል። ይሄ ትራንስፎርሜሽን ሰርክል ከሆነ ሰርክሉን ሼፑን ሳይቀይረው ሳይዙን ሳይቀይረው ነው ቦታ የሚቀይርለት ማለት ነው። So the translation takes the point 0, 0 into the point 2, 3 ነው የሚለው። So if U is a translation vector h, k, then any point P given by x, y will be translated into the point P prime given by x plus h, y plus k ነው። So according to this formula, our translation given by capital T takes the point x, y into the point x plus h, in this case is 2, the point y plus 3. That means x, y 0, 0 ስናደርግ the origin will be translated into the point 0 plus 2, 2 and 0 plus 3, 3. And it translates the point minus 1, 1, for example, minus 1 plus 2, 1 plus 3. The translated point will be 1, 4. So if you have a circle of center x, y, then the center of the circle will be translated into a new center C prime x plus 2, y plus 3 ነው። ስለዚህ አሁን የተሰጠን ጥያቄ በዚህ ፎርሙላ መሰረት ነው የምንሰራው ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ ሴንተሮቹን ትራንስሌት ማድረግ ነው የጥያቄያችን መልእክት ማለት ነው። choice A, it says x minus 5 the whole square plus y minus 6 the whole square is equals to 9 is the translation of the circle x minus 3 the whole square plus y minus 3 the whole square is equals to 9 ይላል። length of the radius is not changed, so the radius is 3. The center x comma y will be translated into c prime x plus 2 comma y plus 3 ነው የሚሆነው። ስለዚህ የዚህ ሰርክል ሴንተር መጀመሪያ እንወስዳለን። the center of this circle is 3 comma 3 ነው because in general a circle is given by x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square is equals to the radius square ነው, where the center is given by the point a comma b. So this the new center will be x is positive 3, 3 plus 2 will be 5, y is also positive 3, 3 plus 3 is 6. Therefore the new circle will be x minus 5 the whole square y minus the whole square is equals to 9 ነው። ስለዚህ መልሳችን a ነው የሚሆነው። choice b x minus 4 the whole square plus y minus 3 the whole square is equals to 9 is the translation of እዚህ ጋር ይላል። you can see here the center of this circle is the point 2 comma እዚህ ጋር plus 6 ስለሆነ minus 6 ነው የምናደርገው። ስለዚህ 2 እና 3 ትደምሩባታላችሁ። 2 ሲደመር 2 4 ነው የሚሆነው። 3 ሲደመር minus 6 minus 3 ነው የሚሆነው። so our circle should be x minus 4 the whole square plus the translated circle y plus y minus እዚህ ጋር minus 3 ነው ያለን y minus minus 3 plus 3 the whole square is equals to 9 ነው የሚሆነው። ስለዚህ እዚህ ጋር negative 3 ነው፣ ይሄኛው ግን positive 3 ነው። therefore this is not an answer which is false. similarly cም false ነው የሚሆነው፣ dም false ነው የሚሆነው። ስለዚህ እንደተፈታኝ መልሳችሁ a ላይ ካገኛችሁት if your answer is at choice a then you have to move okay the next question to save time. To answer this question we need to remember how we draw the graph of a function. እንዴት ነው y is equals to በፎርሙላ በዚህ ፎርሙላ f of x የተሰጠንን ፈንክሽን ግራፍ እንዴት ነው የምንስለው፣ ምን ያስፈልጋሉ የሚሉትን ዲፈረንት ፕሮፐርቲዎቹን ካስታወስን የዚህን መልስ መመለስ እንችላለን። for example to draw the graph of a function the first thing you need is to determine the intercepts, the x intercept and the y intercept. Next we need also domain and range asymptotes. For this question if we consider the intercept, let's consider the x intercept of the given graph. The x-intercept is a point where the graph cuts the x-axis, and you can see that whenever the graph cuts the point, the graph at x-axis, the value of y is 0. Therefore, for x-intercept, the second coordinate value will be 0, and we have to calculate the value of x for that graph. Choice A, sec x, no? The secant of x, secant ማለት 1 over cosine of x ማለት ነው. To get the x-intercept of this secant function, we need to make the value of y, which is f of x, 0 እናደርጋለን. 0 is equals to the secant of x, which is equals to 1 over cos x ነው ብለናል. When you solve this problem, if you multiply both sides by cos x, then you get 0 is equals to 1 ይሰጣል, and this has no solution. That means this graph, the graph of y is equals to secant of x doesn't have an x-intercept. So we say there is no x-intercept for this graph. ነገር ግን እንደምታዩት የዚህ ግራፍ x-intercepቶች at this interval, for example from 0 up to pi, pi over 2 is the x-intercept, 3 over 2 pi is also x-intercept. So the x-intercept of the given graph is twice of n plus 1, which is odd number divided by 2 times pi, where n is an element of the set of integer ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ plus or minus pi over 2 ላይ plus or minus 3 over 2 pi plus or minus 5 over 2 pi periodic function ነው። የፈንክሽን ፔሪዮዱም pi ብቻ ነው። ስለዚህ በእነዚህ ቦታዎች ላይ x ኢንተርሰፕቶች አሉ። that means the graph the function will be 0 ማለት ነው። therefore a is not an answer. secant of x x intercept ስለሌለው ማለት ነው። choice b is tangent of x ነው። f of x is equal to tan x ነው የተሰጠን። as you remember tan x is the ratio of sine and cosine. So the x-intercept for this function y0 እናደርግና we will solve this problem. Sin x over cos x is equals to 0 ይላል. And when you solve this problem you get 0 is equals to sin x እናገኛለን። ምክንያቱም ሁለቱንም ሳይድ በኮሳይን ኦፍ x እናባዛ ማለት ነው። where this function is defined whenever cos x is different from 0. So sin 0 የሚሆነው you know that here the value of x is the sine inverse of 0 ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ sin 0 የሚሆኑባቸው ፖይንቶች we know these points are at 0 at pi, at 2 pi, at 3 pi እያለ የሚቀጥል plus minus pi also minus 2 pi. So all plus or minus integer multiples of these points are the x-intercept for the function y is equals to tan x ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ የተሰጠን ግራፍ ግን ኢንተርሰፕቶቹ at 2n plus 1, this is odd number, divided by 2 times pi ነው። These are all the x-intercepts for the given graph. But የዚህ የታንጀንት ፈንክሽን x-intercept ያገኘ ነው x is equals to n times pi ነው። Mind you, n is any integer. Therefore, b is not also an answer. As you remember, cot x is the ratio of cosine of x divided by sine of x ነው። So when you solve for the x-intercept, you make f of x 0, and this will be cosine of x is equals to 0 ይሆናል። Then x will be the cosine inverse of 0. So cosine 0 የሚያመጡ ነምበሮች ናቸው x-intercept የሚሆኑት ማለት ነው። So those numbers are x is equals to odd number divided by 2 times pi ነው። So the x-intercept for the given function and the x-intercepts of cotangent of x are the same. Choice D ስታዩት ግን የተሰጠን ፈንክሽን f of x is equals to cosecant of x ነው። Cosecant of x is equal to 1 over sin x ነው። So if you solve for the y-intercept, 0 is equals to 1 over sin x ነው የሚሆነው። This implies 0 is equals to 1 ይመጣብናል ሁለቱንም በሳይን ስናባዛ and there is no, this is false statement, therefore there is no x-intercept for the graph of y is equals to cosecant of x ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ አንሰራችን የሚሆነው ቾይስ ሲ ነው። የኮታንጀንት ፈንክሽን ግራፍ ነው የተሰጠን ማለት ነው። Question number 34, which of the following is true ይላል። Choice A, the domain of y is equals to cos inverse of x is minus 1 up to 1 ይላል። ይሄ cos inverse of x ነው። የተሰጠን ፈንክሽን f of x is equals to the cosine inverse of x ነው። ይሄ የማን ኢንቨርስ ነው? የy is equals to cosine x inverse ነው። ሁለት ኢንቨርስ ፈንክሽኖች እርስ በርሳቸው ኢንቨርስ የሆኑ ፈንክሽኖች ካሏችሁ the domain of f is equal to the range of f inverse and the range of f is equal to the domain of f inverse በሚለው ህግ መሰረት የኢንቨርሱን ዶሜን ማለት የኢንቨርሱ ዶሜን የፈንክሽኑ ሬንጅ ነው ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ we know that the range of a cosine function is from -1 up to +1 ነው including -1 and 1 እዚህ ጋር -1 እና 1ን ኢንክሉድ አያደርግም ምክንያቱም የተሰጠን ኦፕን ኢንተርቫል ስለሆነ ማለት ነው። So this is must be closed interval. So the closed interval from -1 up to 1 is the domain of y is equals to cos inverse of x ነው የሚሆነው። ስለዚህ this is false. B, the domain of y is equals to tan inverse of x is from -infinity up to infinity ይላል። This is the set of all real number ማለት ነው። እንደምታስታውሱት y is equals to tan of x, the domain is the set of all real number except those real number which make the cosine the denominator a tangent sine over cosine of x ስለሆነ cos x 0 የማይሆኑበት minus the set of all x's which make cosine of x is equals to 0 ማለት ነው። ይሄ ምን ማለት ነው? the set of all real number without those number x which is equals to cosine 0 የሚሆነው odd over 2 multiple of pi ነው 2 times n plus 1 divided by 2 times pi በእነዚህ አንግሎች በሙሉ cosine 0 ስለሚሆን ይሄ restricted ነው ማለት ነው። The domain is this one, but the range of a tangent function is the set of all real number. ስለዚህ the range of this function, tangent function, is the domain of the inverse of tan. So therefore this is true. C የሚለው tan inverse of 0 is equals to 1 ይላል, which is false. And D, sin inverse of 0 is equals to pi ይላል, pi over 2, which is also false. Question number 35, it says which one of the following is the fourth term of the sequence cosine n times pi over 2 ይላል። አንግሉ እንደምታዩት ይሄ ፈንክሽን ኮዛይን ተሰጥቶን in the bracket in the numerator n ነው ከፓይ ጋር ይባዛል ከዛ ለሁለት ይካፈላል። And for this sequence our general term is cosine of n times pi divided by 2 ነው የሚሆነው። ስለዚህ sequence ማለት ፈንክሽን ነው። a function fn defined from the set of natural number into the set of real number ነው። This f1 will be the first term, f2 will be the second term, f3 will be the third term እያለ f4 እያለ ይሄዳል ማለት ነው። ከአንድ እንጀምርና ጀነራል ተርሙን አግኝተናል። ስለዚህ a1 will be the cosine of 1 times pi divided by 2 ይሆናል። ስለዚህ this will be the cosine of pi over 2 ይሆናል። cosine of pi over 2 90 ዲግሪ ማለት ነው። this is 0. This is the first term. The second term a2 will be the cosine of 2 times pi divided by 2 ይሆናል። ስለዚህ this will be the cosine of 2 over 2 is 1. 1 times pi is just pi. Cosine of pi minus 1 ነው። Second term. Third term a3, this will be equal to the cosine of 3 pi over 2 ነው. And this is also 0 because cosine 0 የሚሆነው 2 times some integer k plus 1 divided by 2 የሚል ቁጥር ይሄ ከላይ ያለው odd ነው. odd divided by 2 times pi ካለ cosine እዚህ ቦታ ላይ 0 ይሆናል። Then the fourth term will be the cosine of 4 times pi divided by 2 ነው የሚሆነው. And this will be the cosine of 4 pi divided by 2, it will be 2 pi. So cosine of 2 pi 1 ነው በትሪጎኖሜትሪ እንደምታስታውሱት። ስለዚህ መልሳችን የሚሆነው question number 36 which of the following is a geometric sequence ይላል። geometric sequence የሆነው ከዚህ ውስጥ የትኛው ነው የሚለው። So we have to remember the definition of a geometric sequence. A geometric progression is characterized by a common ratio. That means every successive terms ratio should be constant ማለት ነው። ማለትም g2 divided by g1 must be equal to g3 divided by the previous g2 ማለት ነው። ስለዚህ 0.01 divided by 0.1 should be equal to 0.011 divided by 0.01 ማለት ነው። ይሄ ኮንስታንት ከመጣልን ኮመን ሬሽዮ ካገኘን መልሳችን በዛ መልኩ እንሰጣለን ማለት ነው። በ12ኛ ክፍል የቻፕተር 1 ሲኩዌንስ ኤንድ ሲሪስ በሚለው ቻፕተር 1 ላይ ያለው ዲፊኒሽን አለ። እንደምታዩት የጂኦሜትሪክ ፕሮግሬሽን is just a sequence but the ratio of the two consecutive terms must be constant for every term ማለት ነው። ቾይስ ኤ የተሰጠን ይሄ ሲኩዌንስ ነው። the first term እንበለው g1 is equals to 0.1 ይላል። ይሄንን 1 over 10 አድርጋችሁ መጻፍ ትችላላችሁ ፍራክሽን አድርገን ማለት ነው በፍራክሽን ፎርም። second term is 0.01 and this is equal to 1 over 100 ይሆናል። and third term g3 is equal to 0.0011 ነው የሚለው። so this number you can write 11 divided by 10,000 ማለት ነው። ምርጫዎቻችንን በዚህ መልኩ ቼክ እናደርጋቸዋለን። g2 divided by g1 must be equal to g3 divided by g2 ብላችሁ this must be equal to both sides common ratioአችንን መስጠት አለባቸው። ስለዚህ g2 divided by g1 የሚለውን ስትሰሩ g2 is 1 over 100 okay r must be equal to 1 over 100 divided by g1 is 0.1 which is 1 over 10 and you will get this one 10 over 100 እናገኛለን። this is equal to 1 over 10 or equal to 0.1። አሁን ደግሞ የኛውን እንሰራለን which is g3 divided by the second term g2. g3 is 11 divided by 10,000 divided by g2 is 1 over 100 and this number is 1100 divided by 10,000 ይሆናል። so you can simplify two zeros here and you will get 11 over 100 which is 0.11. so since 0.1 is different from 0.11 so our sequence is not a geometric sequence. Choice B, we have to check if g2 divided by g1 is equal to g3 divided by g2 መሆኑን ቼክ ነው የምናደርገው። ስለዚህ first term is 1, second term is 1.5 so 1.5 divided by 1 is equal to third term is 2.5 so 2.5 divided by 1.5 second term። እነዚህ ቁጥሮች ስታካፍሉ እኩል መሆን አለባቸው ማለት ነው። but እዚህ ጋር እንደምናየው it's not equal because 1.5 divided by 1 is 1.5 and 2.5 divided by 1.5 ማለት 25 ሲካፈል 15 ነው። በ10 በ10 ስናባዛ ስለዚህ ይሄ በ5 3 ይሆናል and 25 by 5 is 5 so this is 5 over 3. so these two numbers are different so B is not also a geometric sequence. Choice C, the first term is 0.1, second term is 0.11 so 0.11 divided by the first term 0.1 must be equal to 0.12 divided by 0.11. and this p is not also a geometric sequence ስለዚህ መልሳችን d ነው ማለት ነው so c is not an answer a is not an answer b is not an answer እንደ ተማሪ ቀጥታ መልሳችሁን d አርጋችሁ መሄድ ብቻ ነው ምክንያቱም ሶስቱ መልስ ካልሆኑ በተራ ስትሄዱ d የግድ መልስ ነው ማለት ነው ነገር ግን እናንተ ሰዓት ለመቆጠብ ነው ቶሎ ወደዛ መሄድ ያለባችሁ እዚህ ጋር ግን ማየት ትችላላችሁ this is a geometric series the second term is -4 divided by the first term is 8 and the third term is 2 and the second term is -4 and here both this is the left side is 1/2 -1/2 and the right side is also -1/2 so these two numbers are equal therefore d is geometric sequence this works for example እነዚህ ሶስቱን ተርሞች ብንወስድ ራሱ ቼክ ማድረግ እንችላለን so እነዚህ ሶስቱ ስትወስዱ -1 divided by 2 2 divided by -4 so you can see here this is -1/2 and this is also -1/2 therefore your answer is D